What's up, everybody? It's Dave Drakes with the Collective Experience, and we are back for another Foul Plugs Moto show. We're excited to have this thing back. I'm stoked. We've had a really good season, and I got two dynamite guests tonight. One of them you'll definitely remember if you've been watching the Foul Plugs for a little while. It's New England's very own, and I got to say, one of the better videographers in the industry, Mr. Billy Freeman. What's up, Bill?
Hey, thanks for having me back, man. It's always great to be on, and I've been watching your lives too, so appreciate it.
Oh, I appreciate it. It's you and my mom watching them, so thank you to you both for for supporting. I appreciate that. And of course, if you guys have watched the live shows last couple of weeks, you've seen this man. He is the mastermind behind all of the social for the Moto Academy, integral part of the Moto Academy. You know him, you love him. It's Jackson. What's going on, Jackson?
Not much, not too much. It's a big day, and I'm ready to dive in. Let's just dive in.
Yeah, we got some good stuff to talk about, man. The race was really good this weekend. I mean, it was pretty phenomenal. But before we get into that, we got to say a huge shout out to the people who make this program possible, like FXR Racing. Those guys are super crucial to what we do. They are supporting us left and right. They can support you too if you just scroll down, go to the description, and click on some of those promo codes that we have. Thanks to FXR, they're one of our bigger sponsors this year, doing amazing things. They can hook you up, keep you looking fresh on the track. They keep my fat ass looking good, so they can definitely help you out. FXR Racing, check them out, as well as Flow Vision Goggles, EVS, Overshare Advice and Planning, Evans Power Coolant, and of course the great people over at Moto Tape as well. And don't forget, if you want to attend a race like a professional, head to thecollectivexp.com at thecollectivex on Instagram, where you can sign up to work with your favorite top tier supercross riders and a various wide variety of offerings, from internship programs to fan experiences, where you get a chance to go live and in person with the best of the sport. I'm talking about things like mechanic support, content creation, team management, and so much more. Take your passion to the next level with thecollectivexp.com. Come have some fun with us. Yeah, guys, we had a freaking awesome race in Glendale. The track was super flowy. We had AJ Cat on the live show, and he was just walking us through how much fun that track looked like it was. Jackson, we've been seeing these races week in, week out for years and years on top of years. What to you makes a really good track? Because I mean, to me, I want berms, I want a little bit of loam, don't want any big jumps. What's like an ideal track for you, man?
Yeah, for me, I want the riders to have options. I don't, I feel like the tracks where early in the day after first practice, first qualifying, it's like, this is the fast line. You're taking it. If you're not taking it, you're going to get left behind.
Yeah.
And like there was a few things with this track this week, especially like that weird section before the finish line and immediately after, like how the guys approach that, if they were opening up the corner to set up the inside on the next one, or just trying to dive down inside and then being forced wide before the finish line jump. There's just cool things that, like, it's not just one line. It's we got options here, and that was make or break for some of the guys' races there.
Oh, for sure. And Bill, you're used to watching these guys and recording them, some of the best talent in the world. How long does it usually take those guys to kind of suss out a track and get a flow of things? Are we talking like 10 laps? Are we talking, a full moto? Like, how long, in your opinion, does it take, like, top guys, like, the Baker's Factory guys that you're filming to get used to a new setup?
I think it depends on the rider and the track, and those tracks are continuously evolving. So something that might have worked like early in the race might not work later in the race, or a new line might develop. Like Jackson said, more than one line, keeping that racing going is kind of the most ideal thing. So,
yeah, well, it's probably not like, 30 years like it took me. So he can definitely say those guys are a little bit more in tune than I am. But let's kick it into the 250s. We saw Jet kind of take off. It looked like a fairly easy overall win for the guy. It was a triple crown, so we didn't get a chance to see just a single moto format. We had three freaking motos, and the guy looked like he was head and shoulders ahead of the crowd. We've talked about this kid ad nauseum. We know him from the Moto Academy, and if you're not part of the Moto Academy, make sure you sign up and get involved. But I want to talk about guys like RJ Hampshire. Bill, he's almost as old as you are, for crying out loud. And every time I watch him, I just think, like, what a huge freaking talent this guy is. But for some reason, he cannot clinch like a title. He's literally one of the fastest guys. Jackson, do you think this dude is going to move up in 2024? Is he going to stay down? And if he does stay down, can he get a title?
Well, I'm interested to see if what happens or what comes of the Craig injury, because I read something about, I don't think they're going to fill his spot for the rest of the 450s because it seemed pretty serious injury.
Yeah.
And that's, there's not a whole lot of season left, but outdoors, I think if that spot's open for him, I think he should go. We saw when he bumped up for a few races. I mean, he was first overall qualifier.
Yeah.
In his first round on the 450, and maybe he's just the type of rider where when you don't have to ask as much out of your bike, then you can start to ride a little more flowy, like find the flow, find the groove, and maybe that's something that would suit him better. I think number one, I think get that money, dude. Like bump up to the big bike. That's what I think you should do. Stack it up.
Yeah, you see Billy's eyes go up and he says, "Get that money." Yeah, he liked that. He's like, "Okay, I'll get some of that." Yeah, no, I kind of agree, man. I think he should bump up. He looked so good in the 450 when we saw him a couple of weeks ago. So I'd be excited to see what happens. Speaking of what happens, we have McAdoo out, another Kawasaki guy that had a dirt sample and is no longer in contention for being at the races. Bill, it seemed like years ago, PC was the talk of the town, man. 10, 15 years ago, it was all PC all day long. I mean, I know you're a huge fan. I got a picture of you sitting on Villapoto's bike looking like a squid. Dude, they literally were the best team. Is it weird seeing them not be the top team anymore? I mean, they were dominant for years.
Yeah, and who's to say they won't be again? Sometimes it just takes being down and out and just maybe getting that hunger back. Yeah. Maybe, I'm sure there was a million different reasons for things to go kind of downhill, including just the competition being insane. But
that's the thing. Oh, definitely. You touched on it big time. The competition. I think back in the day, and back in our heyday, I think PC was just, their bike was yards ahead of the competition, like the factory connections, the KTMs, Suzuki, Yamaha, and they had the best bike. They had really good talent, and the talent just gravitated towards those bikes, kind of the same way that people are gravitating towards the star bikes now. And yeah, we did see a changing of the guard as the bikes got more equal. You started seeing talent kind of diluting a bit more, you know what I mean? So honestly, Bill, I'm hoping that we can see PC make a comeback. I'm sure Mitch Payton is wanting to punch people in the face right now, dude. Just carrying around a shotgun in the race shop all day.
If he could reach him,
dude, right?
It'd be trouble,
dude.
I'm sure it's just a lot of nut taps around the PC.
Dude, right now. Or getting the belts out, dude. Just spanking some ass around the shop, man, letting him down.
Dave's neck would break as soon as he heard that.
Oh, dude, Mitch Payton wheeling around with a freaking belt. Oh hell yeah, dude! Like, oh shit, getting out of there, Oh man, yeah. They definitely need they need some some help. They need some good juju. They need Jesus. They need to go to church. They need something, man. They need a Rain Man. I don't know.
You'd be perfect.
Perfect. Speaking of some good stuff, KTM has been kind of having a good run in the 250s. We've seen flashes of brilliance. It's not the best, but it's better than what we've seen in years past. Who do you guys think is KTM's next bright shining star? I'll start with you, Jackson.
Man, I don't know. I think it'll be interesting to see Voland outdoors this year. I think that'll be the big show. Like if he can kind of clean up some of that rookie jitters that he's had, since last outdoors. He shot out to a few hole shots last year in that, and I think if he can start to put it together, then he's got to be their next guy. But it seems like, it sure feels like as just a spectator of the sport, not knowing, when these guys make these moves, like I find out, with everybody else, but it feels like, KTM, especially for their premier class program, like they kind of wait to see guys develop and have some, guys that are on the cusp that should be, top 3, top 5 guys. And then they kind of poach them, and then just bring them over to their program. And at that point it works. I don't know. Their younger rider program doesn't always seem to pan out so well for them. I mean, across, all three brands right now. It's not looking fantastic. But like, I think if that is the word, that Chase Sexton is going there starting 2024, then I mean that's their next bright shining star.
Yeah, I mean it definitely could be, man. I mean, I'm holding out hope for Volan as well as Vial on his way over from Europe. I'm hoping he stays here and can do like something like what Marvin Muskin did when he came over and got used to the US side and started becoming a top player. I think it's definitely possible for them. Bill, over on the off-road racing side, like, it seems like they got their stuff together, the KTM squad, when it comes to honing that new talent. What's the biggest difference you think that they're starting to see, more success in their amateur ranks?
Wait, you mean on the off-road side?
Yeah. Because I mean, they're both kind of similar but kind of different. But you figure they'd take one template and kind of apply it to the next. But it seems like off-road, they're just kicking ass.
Yeah, they are. I think Yamaha is also going to be kind of a little bit more competitive this year. But I think on the KTM side, for so long, I think they took their off-road line a lot more serious than a lot of the other brands did. So I think all the R&D they had into those brands, they had a little bit of an easier transition to kind of make all that happen for these guys. And maybe they're just, kind of just keeping more of a budget there to maintain the better riders. Who knows?
Oh, it could be. I mean, that definitely makes sense. Development and R&D is crucial when it comes to a solid setup. Speaking of solid setup, we got a chance to see a solid setup in Hunter Yoder falling over, showing his ass cheeks, kind of like Billy's ex-girlfriend in front of a huge crowd. Dude fell down, got his pants knocked off, and started showing the shiny white ass over there, man. Like, that was the crowd freaking erupted. I don't know if we'll see if we can find that the IG post.
My favorite part of that is the reaction to just immediately start pushing the guy that made your pants fall down. Like, it was a racing incident that just kind of came together. He didn't, get off his bike and pull his pants down, but he got up and acted like he did.
Dude, it was so freaking funny to see him like waddle over, pulling his pants up, and dude, it was freaking hilarious. What the amount of just like embarrassment you'd feel, Billy Freeman. I mean, it would be hilarious to see that happen to you, buddy. I love you, but man, I wish that.
As soon as that happened, if it ever did happen to me, I'd be like, oh, I'm never going to hear the end of this from Dave.
For sure. Oh,
I feel like, I don't know, that's such a crazy sequence of events for that to happen. Like that specifically, the amount of like things that have to go perfect for us to see the bad moon rising like that. Like it's truly unbelievable. And you just think back to like other wrecks in that through the past, like, there's the whole like Alessi and Villapoto. I think Villapoto came backwards on the track to kick his ass because he was trying to shut someone's bike off. And it's like, if that's what guys did instead, like when there's a big pileup, and people are trying to pull their bikes off, if you just started pantsing your competitors, I think that's the move going forward. I think Yoder started a trend.
Oh my gosh. That's hilarious. Yeah, that's a dream come true for Billy Freeman, pantsing his competitors, man. you gotta be careful with that one.
Yeah, you'd love that, man. Like all I can picture is like Randy from Park Boys.
Through fans in your competition. Oh, that's so funny. Let's kick it over to the 450s. Obviously Eli Tomac, just a beast, man. Lined up, ready to win. Looked super consistent when it comes to the 3-moto format, and it's really difficult to nail a 1-1-1. I think Roxon's done it. Not sure if Tomac's done it at all, but he was killing it. The only person that looked like they had something for him all night was Sexton. However, Sexton cannot seem to get it smoothed out and get the consistency that Tomac has. What do you guys think is Sexton's biggest flaw right now? Obviously, the guy's lights out fast, top talent, but for some reason, he either can't keep it on two wheels or can't keep it consistent week in and week out. What's the biggest flaw? Jackson, I'll kick it over to you, man.
Well, what was weird about this one was like, it wasn't his speed or riding. It was his starts, which hasn't really been a problem the rest of the year. Like usually he's starting up, pretty close to the front. And I feel like this is one of those rounds that like, if it wasn't a Triple Crown, I think it would have gone very differently, because Tomac is obviously a beast and he had the speed, but like you saw that in that second race when Tomac bobbled, or sorry, Sexton bobbled, Tomac passed him. The speed that Sexton blew by him in the whoop section after the next corner to retake the lead to win that second moto was unbelievable. And I think, you know, the rounds that Sexton hasn't been able to close out is when he's had all night to lead. But like, if you take that race and how those things went, but it's not a Triple Crown, so Sexton gets a mediocre start, has to work his way up. He's not thinking about holding a lead. He's just trying to put the laps on. He had the speed. I don't know. I think that could have gone a lot differently.
Oh, I think so too. No, I definitely agree with that. And Bill, I mean, you've seen this kid just crush it, you know, in so many different facets of the sport, 250, 450, outdoors, indoors. Do you think he's got what it takes to solidify himself as one of the top guys and sort of smooth out as the races continue on, and maybe even in outdoors?
Yeah, for sure. But I think like once you get in like that mental rut of just like some sort of negativity or like, oh, I'm not where I want to be, I think that can be kind of hard to overcome. So I think it's a big mental game to kind of get back on track. But I think physically he has all the skills in the world to do it. It's just like that and maybe some luck to kind of get the good luck going again, you know?
I definitely agree with that. That makes perfect sense to me. I really hope that we can see him turn some things around, because I'd love to see just an all-out dogfight between Sexton and Tomac outdoors. That would make me the happiest little boy on Christmas morning, man, to see those two guys battling it out. 12 races, 24 motos. That'd be sick.
Yeah, if we get a repeat of last year, like that's, I mean, I don't think since Stewart and Carmichael have we seen two guys push each other that hard outdoors like we did last year. Like it was unbelievable. Like the gap that they had on the rest of the field, like it was a 2-man race, and it wasn't too many mistakes. It was just speed beating the other guy's speed. Like if we get that again, like we are extremely lucky, but at the same time, it's like, that was such a crazy year. I like, that should not be the expectation.
I hope so, man. We had a little bit of that when we saw Tomac versus Baggett. I think it was like 2017 or 18 or maybe 16, something like that. That was really cool to see those guys kind of battle back and forth. But yeah, I mean, you're right. We haven't seen something like that since the Stu and RC days, man. I really hope we start to see it again. One guy who hopes he can put his front wheel in that mix too is Barsha. The dude had a podium. It's cool to see Bam Bam back. We're all Bam Bam fans, you know, so I definitely hope that the guy is kind of having his like a renaissance of sorts, and we can start to see more of him in there. AP had that awesome ride a couple of weeks ago, and then crashed out sort of on like one of the last corners. Do you think we'll see him get to the front again? Do you think AP has what it takes to get back up there in the top step and lead a race?
Billy, you go ahead.
I mean, if I say no, am I a bad guy?
No, I mean, it's
no one wants him to do bad. Like,
exactly.
I didn't think of a guy on the line that like no one has anything bad to say about him. You know,
he's such a great dude. He really is.
Yeah. But I don't think so. I think there's too many fast guys closing out championships at the end of this year, and I just don't think he's got it with them. I mean, and again, this is, you know, tough. I couldn't sniff their tailpipe if they were doubling Steve Mathis through the pits, you know. So it's like, I'm not, you know, I'm not saying these guys are bad, but come on, like it's just a different level.
See, I don't know. I would have said that beginning of the season, but the way that he's just crept up there, and even when he was leading that one race, man, it's like, holy crap, it came so out of left field. I don't know if he was just feeling good that one week, if it was an off week or what, but I mean, I feel like we've seen him kind of in the top 5 somewhat easily in a couple races. So I'm never one to write off AP. I really hope he can turn things around and get up front again, because it was so cool. I mean, the whole place was erupting, man. The whole the stadium just was going crazy for him. So I hope he can do it. I also hope AC can do it too, man. It's good to see him back. He's been stoked on his riding. He's been like, you know, top 6, top 7, looking fairly strong. Do you guys think that he can get a podium before the season's out? We'll start with you, Jackson.
Man, I just sound like I'm shitting on all these like amazing riders. I don't think so. I don't think so. I just think of the guys who have been there. You know, it's like Tomac's gonna be there. Sexton's gonna be either there or charging that way. Webb is a shark. And Barsha, if he's behind you, he's already made the pass because you're shitting yourself. So it's like, I don't think Cianciarulo, it's not that he doesn't have the speed, and that I would not, like, I would be as happy as anybody to see him up there, but I just don't think he has, and rightfully so, I don't think he has the fight to battle with those guys right now because of, you know, how he's been, just had the, you know, he's basically had all of, you know, pro circuits injuries himself at the last few years. Like, we're talking about how many guys Mitch has had go down. Like, it's like he's had that all on his own too.
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, I'm a big HC fan. I want to see the guy do good. I want to see him up front. I want to see him, you know, crushing it. I honestly think that we probably won't see that until outdoors. I want to say he's going to get us a little bit more races under his belt, get a little bit more of that steam going. But I think outdoors is when we'll start to see him make that peek through.
I know that Dave's got, like, I know you two got nicknames for each other, man. So
me and AC.
You know, can I point out something that Dave is doing that's very frustrating right now? He keeps asking us these leading questions like, they're not having a good year. What do you think about that? And then you're like, okay, that's where you're going with it. And then you agree with him. And then he's like, I don't know, man. I really like him. I think it's great. And it's like, hey, man.
Hey, man, I'm just asking the questions, man. I'm just asking the questions.
Hey, Dave. Before we started, you said he was a whopping pile of shit. You want to just commentate on that? I mean, everybody else really loves him, but you know, you seem to clearly have it out for him. Thanks a lot, Dave.
Mr. Cianciarulo, I did not say that. I don't know. This is fake news. Fake news. I don't know. I'll throw you some softball ones. Don't worry. Don't worry. We saw a pretty good race in the SX Futures. Love seeing the next level of the sport. That race kind of surprised me a little bit because I had no idea who Bomber was. That was kind of an upset to see him get around Ryder DiFrancesco and Daxton Bennick, who are two of the fastest amateurs out right now. If you guys could put together an amateur race, you could pick any pro rider from any era, put them back in amateurs, and have them duke it out. Who is the top three guys that you would put in that race to duke it out in an amateur event? We'll start with you, Billy Freeman.
Can we do it like, let's do it draft style? We
can do a draft style.
Yeah. What do you mean, like each pick one?
Yeah.
We each pick one.
All right, Dave, you haven't gotten to go first on anything, so you go first.
Yeah.
I'm the host. I'll go last.
Don't be polite. Come on. What do you think?
Yeah.
If I have to pick any amateur, people are gonna think I'm super weird. Between these two, one of my picks would not be Mr. Eats, one of the best in the world to ever do it, James Stewart. My second, if I had to do a second choice, would be Matt Lemoyne, because that dude was an absolute beast when it came to amateur big bikes. His last couple of years in the amateurs, this dude was an absolute ruthless animal, super fast, aggressive, and he brought home the win whenever, no matter who he was racing. He could be like 10 people that were faster than him, that he would find a way to win. But my first one would be Stu, amateur Stu. No one was that solid.
Okay, Billy, with the second overall pick, who you got?
Carmichael, so I could see those two go at it again. You know,
that's good.
But I would love to see Styles Robinson back in amateurs just to make David Drakes happy to hear that.
Oh, those were the days, man. The 50 versus 450. Those are the days. Who you got, Jackson?
I'd go with believe the hype himself, Mike Alessi. I mean, he's got that cheater. He's got that cheater bike. You know, he's gonna be there. He's at least get a hole shot.
Oh, for sure.
Knows, you know, first turn pile up, he'll shut your bike off. I win. That's what it is.
Dude,
he's got his brother in the stands with the laser pointer. I mean, the odds are in my favor.
Yeah, you're not losing, dude. There's too many redundancies to ensure a win. You're not losing.
Yeah, we're winning or we're getting fined. You know?
Oh, dude, I love it, dude. I'm a huge Alessi fan. Love Mike. dude, I mean, there were some weekends like the dude was racing 250Fs, 125s, super minis, and 85s. It's like, dude, save some track for the other guys. You know what I mean? Like, insane, man.
You know who was sick on amateurs though was Barsha.
Oh, dude, he was gnarly. He was absolute. I used to have to race that dude. And my dad's looking at me like, why aren't you up front? I'm like, what? We're not even in the same race. Yeah, that's all I did was blame the asthma, dude. Faking an asthma attack, and he left me alone. But I mean, dude,
well, AJ said on the live stream that a slow metabolism is a good racer. So I don't know what your excuse is.
Dude, honestly,
you got all the pieces. You just got to put them together, man.
I couldn't put them together.
Holding me and Billy back.
Dude, my pieces must have came from different boxes because mine weren't fitting together at all, dude. Literally, I remember that he lapped me. And I blinked, and this dude was like, he went like, I literally by me, blinked, and he was like 2 corners ahead. And I'm like, what the hell, dude? Like, it was absolutely insane on a freaking super mini versus like a bunch of modded 250Fs. Kid was insane.
Barsha's my favorite rider on the starting gate. It, like, hands down, has been for a while. And I'm really sad that we didn't get to see him on the Star Yamaha 450. I'm sad that he was on the Yamaha 450 for all those years where they weren't listening to the riders and they weren't doing what was, they were just riding the bike that was for the masses. But like, man, I can't imagine what would be if he had been able to stay on that program for the new bike.
That would have been sick. Those would have been some good races, man. Those would have been solid, but who knows? Only maybe in an alternate universe. Again, we had a really good race this past weekend. Even cooler than that, we had some pretty cool gear that debuted as well. A few companies had some fresh kits out. So that brings us to my favorite segment, which is our coveted drip check. Billy Freeman, we'll start with you, man. Who's been sporting some pretty cool gear out there lately? Who do you think deserves this weekend's drip check award?
Barsha.
Hold on.
Well, then, I think it's sick, but you know what? It's crazy because I almost think it's not even a fair bet because that meme with him with the tight pants going around.
Oh,
and
dude.
I just want to get ahead of that because that has nothing to do with the answer.
Oh, you're lucky. I was like, oh, I bet he was, buddy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Check, Jackson.
Well, he took tight pants Barsha, which is, I would have picked that too. No, I honestly, shout out. I believe it's Jerry Robin.
Oh yeah.
He's been working with the canvas kits, I believe.
Yep.
And man, they got something sick every weekend, and it's never the same thing. And for not a full factory ride like that, he's doing it right. Like he's like, as far as designs and that, I think I don't know. Tomax looked weird. I did not like the all green back. That threw me off. I got a real problem with Alpine Stars in general because, like, man, their racers gear looks so sick. But when you go to buy it or you look at it online with no sponsor logos,
it looks weird.
So boring.
Dude, and I guarantee you, if you try it on, Jackson, you cannot fit the gear, dude.
Well, like, put me in with you.
I'm just saying. I definitely can't fit it. But like, Jackson, you would be like a 46 in those pants, dude. Like it's the weirdest fit. Like I can't, dude. If I start wearing that, it looks like I'm wearing Daisy Dukes. Like there's no way I could wear that gear.
Yeah, but like a line like, shout out FXR, go Canada. But FXR, like, you don't need logos on it to look like a factory rider. Like exactly. They fill the space the right way. Anyway, I'm voting for Robin there. He looks sick.
Yeah, Robbins was super sick. I definitely dug that. Shout out to the Club MX boys rocking the new limited edition, the new release of the FXR setup. The kits were looking super, super sparkly. Loved it. The new colors are absolutely out of this world. And guys, don't forget, get yourself some sweet FXR gear. Scroll below, use the promo code to save you and your Moto family some money, getting the sickest threads, the most vibrant colors, the coolest lasting gear, most durable stuff out there, fxrracing.com. For my pick, honestly, I don't know if I'm allowed to do this, but because we saw that Dirt Shark video with Chase Sexton this past week, that gear that he had, dude. I mean, you paired that.
And I went to buy it, and it looked like ass because it didn't have the big Honda wing on it. And I was like, "Oh, that sucks."
Dude, I'm telling you, that gear looks so freaking sick, man. Like, I mean, he was also riding his ass off and doing a huge whip over over a big job. That's always going to look cool no matter what gear you're wearing. But something about the colors, the way they played off the dirt, off the bike, it was a whole thing for me. It was a whole vibe. So that's going to be my pick for this week. I know it's not really the same. I don't know if it's eligible because it wasn't really in the race, but that stuff to me was freaking sick.
This is your show. You make the rules.
Wrong.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, I make the rules. Yeah, that's right.
This is Dave's world. We're all just living in it.
I like that. I like that. Okay, guys, we're moving over to Atlanta this weekend, the Atlanta Motor Speedway. It's always a fun race. Last year we had a huge booter of a double that a lot of the riders were hucking. Cool layout, good dirt. Who do you guys got for top three in the 450s? You know, it's kind of up in the air in either class, really, when you're looking at the East Coast swing. But who do you got? Billy Freeman, we'll stick with you, man. 450 top three. Who you got?
Cooper, Barsha, Tomac.
Ooh, okay. That could be a solid matchup. I like it. I don't see any flaws.
How do you see that going? How do you like who starts up front, who works their way up front, and who's just happy to be there?
This is based off Tomac maybe not getting a great start and just not having enough time to get up there. So we'll see. I'm a fan of Cooper, so I just want to send some good luck his way,
Oh, okay. I can dig it. You know what? I'll go second, and I'll let Jackson get the honors of going third. I'm gonna say we're gonna see Tomac in first, Sexton in second. I think we're gonna see Webb in third. I don't think Webb's starts will be as dialed as Sexton's. For some reason, I don't know why. I don't think we're gonna get any crazy battles for the lead. I think it's gonna be kind of like a checkout kind of deal, riding kind of by your lonesome a little bit. For whatever reason, I don't know why I'm getting that vibe, and I'm usually never right. So, don't bet your money on this one, whoever's watching, Mom. But I don't know. I have a feeling that's how it's going to play out for this weekend. Jackson, what do you got?
I think we're going to get a Tomac win. I think Sexton's going to be flying. I think he's going to lead. I think he's not going to win. And I think we're going to have Barsha rounding out the podium. I just think, it's the speedway race. You're going to get those long straights. He's going to be hanging it out there, just bouncing off the rev limiter. And I think like the last speedway race we had, he was flying and got, unfortunate entanglements like Will Smith's wife, but with Sexton. But that's what it was. And, it was his fault, wasn't his fault. He's definitely due for a few karma checks, and I think that was it. And I think he's getting rewarded now with his keeping his nose clean and being fast.
Oh well, I'm hoping that some of us are wrong, right? I'm hoping that we can at least get treated to some good parity this weekend, some great racing, bar banging, and some great action. Guys, don't forget to check out the races in person. Sign up with the collectivexp.com. We've got an amazing opportunity for you guys to be VIP fangoers with AJ Catanzaro on the Moto Academy team. That's the same team that the one and only Jackson is a part of. You guys can hang out with these guys all day long, meet and greets, tons of rig tours, get some cool swag, and all the proceeds that we're doing, we're accumulating are going to help the privateers of our great sport. So the collectivexp.com. Guys, this has been super, super fun. Billy, you've got a lot of cool stuff coming up. You're crushing it with the whole J-Day series. Where can people find you, and what do you have coming up?
So yeah, we're doing a docu-series for the J-Day Off-Road series. That's going to be pretty fun. Yeah, follow along. All that stuff's going to be released on all the J-Day Off-Road Instagram, website, YouTube, whatever. All my other work is done through Surge Unlimited. So surge.unlimited for my Instagram, or BeFree561 for my personal. And yeah, hope if you want to follow along, that's where to be.
It's worth the follow. This dude is cinematic masterpiece behind the lens. Jackson, you guys always have big things cooking up at the Moto Academy. It's boggles my mind how you guys keep it straight. If people want to follow along with you and find out more, man, what do they have to do?
If you want to find me, head to my local golf course because it's opening this weekend.
Nice.
That's where I'm going to be. I'm not even going to remember what Supercross is. No, just sign up for the Moto Academy. I'm not a big social guy. I run the social medias. I hate social media, so I'm not doing anything on there. But I run the Moto Academy stuff. But sign up in there. Right now, we're working really hard on the big trip giveaway we got coming up. Can't give too much away, but it's going to be pretty awesome and unlike anything that anyone else is doing. And that's just what we're trying to do over at the Moto Academy. And it's I'm pretty excited because I get to be a part of it too. So it's going to be sweet.
That's freaking awesome. Again, guys, check out the Moto Academy. So many great people over there making it what it is, a great community, great opportunity for a lot of people to get connected, get some great training, and make the most out of the sport. Guys, we will be back for another one of these next week. Be sure to hit the subscribe button, like, share with your friends and family. We've been growing a really good community. Help us to continue to keep it going. Leave us a comment. Tell us how much you don't like Billy Freeman's forehead, whatever it takes, the soothing sounds of my voice, cheer me on. Tell Jackson he's handsome, just make us feel good. We'll be back.
Billy, he's just jealous of your chiseled jawline. All right. That's all.
Yeah. And the baby blues, man.
It's a slippery slope we're going down.
With that one, we'll wrap it up there. Thanks, guys. We'll check you out in the next one. And don't forget, head to thecollectivexp.com for all of your moto needs.